You know, after 35 years of playing rugby, coaching minis, juniors, even 5-year-olds who mostly ran sideways, and refereeing with the North Midlands Ref Society, I've realised something. This game has been a massive part of my life. And lately, I found myself worrying about it more than ever. It's just my opinion, nothing more. But the community game feels very fragile right now. Clubs struggling to get a second team, sometimes even a first. Kids not coming through like they used to from schools. Volunteers stretched thinner than an overstressed hamstring. Referees juggling more fixtures than is probably insane to think about. And behind all that, there's this sense that the heartbeat of the sport is just quieter than it should be. And it gets to me. Because the soul of rugby was never meant to be quiet. It was supposed to be noisy, messy, muddy, full of laughter and terrible kicking. The sport doesn't start on big stages. It starts on a cold Saturday or Sunday morning when a parent ties a bootlace for the 15th time and a coach shouts something encouraging through the wind and rain. But here's the thing, and this is the thing I really want to say, and this is where my view has shifted over the years. If we want grassroots rugby to feel alive again, we can't only look inward. We can't just keep talking to the same people who already love the game. We have to look outward, beyond the clubhouse, beyond the regulars, beyond the families who already know where to park and who brings the biscuits. Some clubs do a brilliant job. Their outreach is fantastic. But many of us forget that the community game starts with the community, not with the game. We need to be in schools showing kids that rugby is about teamwork, confidence and belonging, not just tackling. We need to be talking to local parents, local businesses, people that might have never picked up a rugby ball in their life. We need to make the club a place you'd go, even if you have no idea how many points a try is worth. Because people want to be part of something. That's my belief. And rugby clubs, at their best, are overflowing with that something. Friendship, connection, purpose, a place to belong. But to grow, clubs have to be visible, have to be welcoming, open, not intimidating, not cliquey, not members only unless you pass the vibe check. If we want new players, new volunteers, new referees, we've got to invite people in who didn't even know the door was open. We've got to reach the people outside the rugby bubble, not just the ones already in it. So here's my honest take after 3.5 decades in this sport. If we want rugby clubs to thrive, it's time to get the word out on the streets, into the schools, into local communities, into the ears of people who've never watched a match but might just fall in love with the place. And if you're listening and you're part of a club, start reaching outward. And if you're someone who's never been part of a rugby club, maybe pop down to one on Saturday or Sunday. You don't have to know the laws. You don't need to know the players or the difference between a scrum and a sandwich. Just come and say hello. See what the community in a rugby club is all about. Your rugby club doesn't just need rugby people. It needs local people. And that could be you. Well, that's my view. That's my experience. And I believe genuinely that if we open up the doors a little wider, we can breathe life back into the heart of the game we all love. My name's Gavin Chase from Advantage, the Ref Collective and the Ref Cam. Check out some more of our videos and find out more about rugby. You might fall in love with it.